If someone passes on a trading company, they obviously get business property relief. But what about when they've sold that business and then they're left with a huge lump sum of cash or investments? What happens then?
Yeah, I mean, that is the big issue. You suddenly turn the asset from 100% business property relief, where you get 100% exemption for IHT up to the £1 million and 20% after that, to an asset that's 100% taxed to 40% if you're over the thresholds. So lots of clients will look at various options. One is obviously gifting down to the next generation. And so you've got to survive 7 years at the moment. So there's a lot of planning with that. And obviously gifting the asset to your children means it's outside your estate. So therefore you've got the issue of divorce, unfortunately, these days. So lots of clients are looking at, is that the best option for them? Because they've worked hard all their life for this money. One of my clients, I always remember quoting me, Ed, inheritance tax is 40%, divorce is 50%. So the divorce is actually more expensive than the inheritance tax. The other issue is you could gift it via a trust. So you could put the money into a trust and therefore pass it to the next generation that way, but you've still got some control over it. So it isn't necessarily going to be caught by divorce issues, depending how the trust is set up and what you're using it for. So that's another option that you could look at for clients with lots of cash. The third one is to look at investments via an IFA that are exempt for IHT. So you might be able to invest in things where you get business property relief within 2 years of owning the assets. These shares in trading companies, basically, they're specifically run by Octopus and a few others, which are very tax efficient, but not most exciting. So you might be getting 3-4% dividends, but you get 100% exemption for the first £1 million for both yourself and your wife if you split it between you. So there's lots of options you can do, but again, it comes back to planning and making sure that you've decided what you want to do with the money long term, because once you've given it away into trust, you can't get it back. And once you've given it to your children, you shouldn't get it back either. So it's just a case of planning and coming up with the best way that suits the client in terms of what their overall needs are for them and their family.